Hey, and welcome to the second lesson in the Advanced Fundamentals of Link Building module. In this lesson, we're going to talk about how to research a page's backlinks to understand how they were built or earned. This is a super important skill to have because if you understand how a page got its links, then you'll have direction in terms of how to replicate that link profile. Of course, we'll go through some examples in this lesson. Alright, so the first thing we need to do is find a competing page to analyze. Now, if your page is targeting a topic with the intent to rank, a good place to start finding competitors are the top 10 ranking pages for your target query. After all, backlinks are likely a reason for their high-ranking position, especially if it's a competitive, non-local, non-freshness-dependent query. For example, at Ahrefs, we obviously want to rank high for queries like link building because our tools are essential for this process. Now, if we look at the SERP overview table and Keywords Explorer for that query, we see that similar guys from Mayas and Backlink go have a lot more referring domains than us, which is likely the primary reason they rank ahead of our page. So these are two link profiles I definitely want to check out. Now, to see the backlink profiles, just click on the number in the backlinks column and you'll be able to see the pages that link to these competing guides. We'll circle back to this in a bit because you won't always be building links to pages that target a keyword. For example, topics for linkable assets often have no search volume, but they have the potential to earn massive amounts of links because of their appeal. Then SEOs will add internal links from these pages to more commercial pages passing PageRank. Now, if you're working on a linkable asset, chances are you fall into one of two categories. Category 1, you are inspired from another page that's generated a ton of links and you want to create a similar page. If that's the case, then you already know the URL of your competing page. Just throw it into a competitor analysis tool like Site Explorer, hit the backlinks report, and you're in the same place as we were for a previous example. Now, if you're in category 2, you know you want to create a linkable asset, but you don't know the exact angle you'll be going with. If this is the case, then you can use a tool like Ahrefs Content Explorer, where you can search through billions of pages and get SEO metrics on them. For example, if you have a personal finance site, you can start with a broad search like personal finance. Next, I'll set a referring domains filter to narrow in on pages that have at least 100 referring domains. To filter out a lot of low-quality results, I'll exclude subdomains. As a final measure, I'll actually set a page traffic filter to only show pages that have a maximum value of 1,000 organic visits. Meaning we don't want to see pages that get a ton of search traffic, because these are likely ones that you've discovered through keyword research and would fall into the first example of pages with the intent to rank for a popular query. Now, from here, you just need to skim through the results and look for topics that might inspire you. I know that finding inspiration sounds cliché, but this is where your expertise and creativity will guide you to your idea. For example, this page from OpenSecrets.org has collected over 800 referring domains. As you can see from the description, it's a page about the personal finances and net worth of members of Congress. If we actually click through to that page, you'll see that it's basically just the curation of Congress members and their estimated wealth. Now, I won't dig too deep into this, but I will make a couple of points to support why this could be a good competing page to analyze. Number 1, we already know they have tons of referring domains. Number 2, their data is around 4 years old as the article was published in October 2017 and doesn't appear to have been updated. Number 3, US politics, and especially wealth inequality, have become more prominent topics since the money printers went crazy in 2020. Alright, so now that we have a potential competing page to analyze, I'll click on the carat and then go to the backlinks report to get to where we need to be. Okay, so we found two backlink profiles to analyze. Let's look at one of the competing pages on link building first. Now remember, our objective is to understand how these targets got their backlinks to see if we can replicate similar links. In order to do that, you first need to understand the context of those links. Meaning, what are these referring pages talking about and why do they need to link to this target? The first place you'll want to look in this report is the anchors and target URL column. Now, as you can see, this page has thousands of links, which will be tough to filter through. With big link profiles, I actually prefer to start at the anchors report because it summarizes the backlink profile nicely. What I'm looking for are specific points that are frequently mentioned because this is usually a sign of a linkable point. In other words, if lots of referring domains are linking to the guide with the same anchor, then that point likely resonated with readers and the linkerati. These are the things that I look to replicate in our content. Now looking at the anchors report, I generally ignore things like the title of the post, naked URLs, and branded anchors because these are less likely to be replicable. For this page, something that stands out is the most creative link building post ever. Seeing as it's title cased, it likely means there was a redirect that happened at some point when the article had a different title, because that's not the title today. If we click to see the links to the target, you'll see that it was indeed from a redirect from the acquisition of Point Blank CO. Now, that page is responsible for over 130 referring domains, meaning the 130 websites that are linking to this guide through a redirect are likely irrelevant today. So there's an opportunity for an outreach angle and prospects to back it. Now, if we continue scrolling through the anchors, you'll see this one that says download ebook. If we look at the links to the target, it is indeed going to the original guide. But if you look at the actual page itself, there's no mention of an ebook or to download anything. These are also irrelevant links, and we could technically package up our post in a downloadable ebook pretty easily. Let's dig deeper. If I click on that anchor, it'll open the backlinks report with some filter set. You'll see that there are only a few decent sites within this small list of prospects. You might conclude that it's not worth turning our guide into an ebook for a maximum of 3 links, right? Not necessarily. A commonality among these pages is that they're all list posts on free SEO ebooks. As a link builder, you need to follow the rabbit hole to see if there's a bigger opportunity here. I'll go to here's Content Explorer and search for SEO ebook the search box, and I'll set the mode to a title search. Now, seeing as we won't want to pitch the same website multiple times, I'll set the 1 page per domain filter. From here, I'll set a couple of metric filters like a minimum doctor of 20 and a minimum website traffic of $1,000. Now we're left with over 300 link prospects to filter through. Not bad. But if we wanted to expand this list, all we need to do is change the word SEO to something like marketing. Now you're nearly 1,500 more prospects. So is it worth creating a link building ebook? It's probably worth a shot, and we'll build onto this example throughout the course. Alright, now let's look at a second example, which was a link baiting post on the wealth of Congress members. To jog your memory, the data from the post is from 2017 to 2018, meaning it's pretty outdated today. So if we were to create a similar page, we'd want to create something with up-to-date data. Now, because we know that content and links are inseparable, as I had shared in the previous lesson, we need to figure out which parts of the content are attributable to the backlinks. We're going to be looking for linkable points. Because this page has a ton of links pointing to it, I'm going to go to the anchors report as a starting point. Again, I'll ignore things like naked URLs and branded anchors, as it's generally tough to replicate these, unless it's on listicles like best product type, i.e. best SEO tools like best SEO tools. Now, if we look at the first anchor, you'll see that it has something to do with financial disclosure forms. If we look at the actual links, you'll see that probably all of them are from content syndications, seeing as the date of publishing is pretty much the same for all links. Plus, the anchors and surrounding text are identical. We need to ask ourselves, based on this point, can we replicate these links? Well, in order to do that, you need a big news publication to write a story and link to your page. Then other publications would need to syndicate that content, and no guarantees there. You'd basically need to carefully plan and execute a successful PR campaign. In my opinion, it's not easily replicable. But as you continue to scroll through the report, one interesting thing that stands out for me are a lot of links that include a dollar figure amount,